Hey everybody, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Regan Says. I'm your host, Regan Adams with All Things Regan. So let's get into it. So ladies, today's topic is came through dripping. I want to talk about self-confidence, self-esteem. I've talked about it a million times, but you know that we're in a series this week of getting our life together. And I'm actually looking at this portion of coming through and looking and feeling my best. So at the beginning of the year, I was actively working on losing weight, and I actually lost about 20 pounds. I still have about 65 more to go to the weight that I want to be. Thank God I'm tall. If I was short, it would be a hot mess. I mean, it's a hot mess now, but it could be worse. And so yesterday I talked about discipline, and so in this area you still need discipline. Actually, this whole week is about discipline. What I'm going to be talking about are different areas that you're going to need discipline in, and discipline in my eating. It's the got to be careful of the words I speak, but y'all know what Regan loves to eat. It's been like that since birth. I love everything about food. I love how it smells. I love how it tastes. I love how it looks. When people cook for me, like, I'm all about it. Just good food. I love the ambiance of going out to eat with friends or business. That's why I conduct most of my business in restaurants. If you ever done business with me, you know, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner, let's go to dessert, let's go out. And like I told you guys a while ago, God had been dealing with me about my weight and getting my weight together because of a lot of the traveling I was going to be doing. And I knew in 2019 I was going to be doing a lot of traveling, which I have been, and I know it's going to pick up from here, but I got to get the weight off and I got to get healthy. And so I was actually really proud of myself when I dropped the 20, but it's like I'm kind of stuck at the 20. And it's like, okay, I did 20 and I'm looking better and I'm feeling better, but I still got a ways to go. But what I wanted to talk to you about for those who haven't lost any weight and are looking to lose weight, I just want to kind of share my story with you. So, as stated before, I've always loved to eat. Always. Before I was very athletic, I played sports all of my life, basketball mainly. I played softball, shot put, and through shot put, and then I played basketball. Basketball was mostly from not birth, but you know, the little league or whatever they call it, like the rec sports, the rec league, all the way to high school. Right before I graduated, I quit. But I mean, I was pretty good at it, but I was lazy. That was more my dad's thing. I didn't want to practice. That's another thing. So, but I was pretty good at basketball. I did play, so I could pretty much eat what I wanted to eat, and I was tall, so I always carried my weight well. I was never a small girl, but I wasn't like big, just kind of big boned. Got married, got engaged, did gain a little weight, like, but I was still, again, I'm tall, 5'8½", so I could carry my weight pretty well. But right when when I got engaged, I had a little weight on me, but it still wasn't like bad. Even when I got pregnant, I'm heavier now, which is crazy. I'm heavier now than what I was when I was pregnant. I didn't gain a lot of weight. I had a really healthy pregnancy. But after I had the baby and went back to work, it all went to pot. Like, it went to pot. Before I got pregnant, listen, I've always been a tomboy. Let me kind of back up. I was always a tomboy, like in high school. I always dressed nice, but kind of tomboyish. But I would wear heels and stuff every now and again. Now, when I went to college, I got real girly. Like, real girly. I still had, like, some of the, remember when Dada was in? I used to like Dada, like the button downs, and I would kind of dress it up with a hat or whatever, and some cute earrings or whatever. But I still got really overly girly in college. And then after that, so when I met my husband, I would always dress up. I was always in heels, makeup, hair, changing purses. Like, it was crazy. Even when I went to work, graduated from college, it was like that every day. Even in college, like the first 2 months, I don't even think I wore the same outfit. twice until like that third month, because I always worked in like express, like New York and Company, like I stayed clean, right? So just set in the background stage. So got my first few years of work, graduated first few years of working, still dressed, still in heels, still in makeup every day, got pregnant and stopped all of it, gained a ton of weight, and was just kind of, I found myself wearing the same thing to work every day, no makeup, barely comb my hair, just I didn't care. And my husband finally said something. He was like, hey man, what's going on? Like, when I met you, you were fly. That was one of the things that attracted me to you. So what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And I remember we were out eating, and I've told this story before because that was always our thing. We went to these different little restaurants, and he took me to lunch, and he was like, you got a double chin, like your neck. What's going on? And I knew I had let myself go, but I didn't know a way to come back from that. And what happened is, which I didn't figure out till a couple of years later, that I stopped living for me. Like, it was all just about them, work, home, and church. I've spoken about this before. So what I'm saying is, when you start walking in your calling, you can start feeling better about yourself. When I started putting me first and started having a reason to really feel like I was living outside, God and he loving me. And I started, finding out what my gift is and how I was helping people. That made me feel good. But then also, since I was going to be in the public eye, I was like, I gotta do something. And then God was giving me all these dreams, like, get your weight together. Sending me like prophets in my dreams, get your weight together. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe, is that God? And then it was like one that was real specific, like, they came up and talked to me and said, God said you need to get your weight together. And so that's when I actively started losing weight, because I was like, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because your daughter likes to eat. Not likes, loves to eat. If I could have like a perfect job, it would be to be a taste tester at restaurants all over the world. That would be my perfect job. Like, I'm not lying, because I just love it. And he said, you got to get your weight together. You got to get some discipline. Yeah, there goes that curse word again. And get your weight together, because I have places that I'm going to take you, and you can't go with this weight on you. So I actively started losing weight, walking in my calling, walking in my purpose, helping people. So at this point, I'm starting to feel really good about myself. And then I thought, like, man, I'm getting back to the old Regan, where I have that air about me, which my friend says that when she first met me, she was like, my best friend, Cindy, she was like, when I met you, I did not like you, because you just looked like you thought you were all that. But I'm telling you, all women, when they feel good, I don't care who you are, when you feel good about yourself, when you know you're looking good, when you know you're walking in your calling, when you know you're walking in your purpose, you can walk with your head up. And I noticed, I started like, man, I'm feeling good about myself. Man, I'm looking good. I'm looking better. I've shed this weight. I know I have, a ways to go, but I'm looking better and I'm feeling better. Well, I started getting back off track, and that was one of the reasons that, we're doing this week, fixing my life, because I started getting out of whack, making a little bit more money, and just outspending. Whatever I wanted, I got it. That's how I was living. But we know we can't do that. And so then I started noticing I was picking up my weight, and I was like, whoa. No, we can't do this. So now it's time to get back on track. So I said all of that to say, this week, and not just this week, but this week, as of Monday, yesterday, I started no eating out. I'm actually, no eating out this week. So next week, I'm going to Charlotte for a Taste of Charlotte. And I'll let you know while I'm there what I'm doing. So we'll talk about that later. But I'm going to Taste of Charlotte next weekend. So that's the next time I plan on eating out. But I really want to get a grasp on my finances. There are a lot of things, like I said, I told you yesterday, that I want to do concerning my money. And, investments and things of that nature. I want to do those things, and I want to definitely make my money work for me, just not saving it, but put it in, a mutual fund or something like that where it can grow. And So that's what I'm actively working on. But I know eating is a part of that. And anywhere, like I said, that you don't have discipline, you're just not going to be successful in that area. And you have to put, sacrifice your want for a need. And yeah, I want to go to Ruth Chris once a week. Absolutely. But I can't keep popping out $100 once a week. I mean, I can, but I don't need to pop out $100 a week at Ruth Chris. I don't need to go here, eat out 2 or 3 times a week somewhere else, or like every day at lunch. Because listen, I go to lunch pretty much every day. Monday through Friday, I go out to eat for lunch. And then sometimes at dinner. I may cook, but like where I've been so busy and I don't want to cook late, I don't cook. So we just go grab something. Well, we know that's not healthy either. And so this week, starting as of yesterday, I'm not eating out. I'm going to watch my portions and my water intake. So, and I've also been walking. So I walk every day, weather permitting, 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. We do a mile, mile and a half, Monday through Friday. And also what I've done is I've joined Girls Trek, T-R-E-K, I think that's how they're spelling it, which is a African-American women's walking group that's local here in Knoxville. They're all over the world, but there is a local chapter here in Knoxville that I've joined. Even if I'm not able to walk with them because my schedule is kind of, up and down, I'm going to be walking and exercising myself and Kennedy, because I know she's only going to do what I do because I can tell her, quit eating that. But if you see me, stuff in my face, of course she's going to follow suit, right? Right. So just basically getting your health on track. So what I'm asking you to do today is pick one thing, just one thing that you're going to change. Now I have several, which I'm kind of used to it. I just got to get back on track. How I lost my weight, which I've talked about this before, is intermittent fasting. My eating time is from 12 to 6. Most of the time, how I dropped most of it was the OMAD diet, which is 1 meal a day. And when I had started with the intermittent fasting, my appetite was so, like, it was almost not non-existent, but it was cut very small. So, and that's not the words I was trying to use, but my appetite was almost null and void. So I only wanted a meal a day. And if you really think about it, if you really, really think about it, when you eat every time, most of the time you're not hungry. It's a mental hunger. Oh, let me just go eat. Let me have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Also, what I noticed when I was eating 3 meals a day, or the small meals, every 3 or 4 hours, my sugar was messed up. I remember I was on a flight. I don't know where I was coming from, but I almost passed out on the plane because my sugar was really low and because I had to keep eating. Well, when I started my intermittent fasting and I was in it for like maybe almost a month, that went away. So there are a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting. I've started back this week with that. Like I said, my eating time is from 12 to 6. You can pick whatever time you want because everybody keeps different hours. But those times work for me because I'm at work, and then sometimes I'll be able to eat with my daughter. So that's just how that works. But if you have any questions about intermittent fasting, you can definitely ask me. I'll give you my opinion, but go to YouTube University. They can tell you everything you need to know, or Google. You can just plug in for YouTube because that's really the best outlet. But just this week, pick one thing. So if it's drinking water, drink water. I got to work on my water. I was just talking about this today with somebody about my water. They were like, yeah, you drink a lot of water. And I was like, no, I'm supposed to drink half my body weight in ounces. Again, half your body weight in ounces are what you're supposed to drink for water. I probably do 48 ounces a day, which that's not enough water for me. But I'm going to be actively working on that starting today. I drank a little water yesterday, but not a lot. But at work, I can really get it in because I have my big cup that, you guys seen me post online. So just pick one thing. If it's going to walk, if it's cutting out bread, if it's stop drinking, cut down from 1 pop to 2 pops. One thing that I'm going to try my best not to do, because I normally go out and get my tea, is not have any sweet tea this week. Oh my gosh, I drink sweet tea every day. I'm not going to front. But this week, I'm going to try my best just to drink water. Unless tea is already there, like the what's that tea? I had some today. Gold Peak. I had Gold Peak tea, but that was at the cookout I was at, right? So just pick one thing. You know, don't overdo it. And that's why I like intermittent fasting, because it's not so, like, it's discipline, but it's not so in a box where you got to eat a little bit of this and no. Because you can essentially add your water, you can essentially cut back on whatever, or add your vegetables, add, you know, those type of things where it's not so, because I don't know, I'm a rule breaker. I ask my parents, I know. I'm telling you, if it, rules, I don't follow rules. I'm telling you, if it's something that I want to do, like, and I want it, if I want it, I'm gonna get it. Good stuff, but bad at the same time. So anyway, just pick one thing this week. Ride with me. And you know, the more you do it, it'll get easier, and then you can add something to it, right? So me, I'm doing intermittent fasting from 12 to 6. I'm gonna try OMAD because where my stomach, I feel like I'm getting back used to it. So my eating, my stomach is starting to shrink again as far as food is concerned. And doing half of my body weight in water, okay? Working on that today. So anyway, I want you guys to come through Drippin too. Like, I'm telling you, there is absolutely nothing better than fitting in your favorite pair of jeans, tops, and you don't have to cover up your arms because, you know, you got the wiggly jiggly stuff going on. Like, I know about all of that. And when you look good and you feel good, I mean, it radiates from the inside out. It really does. And most of the time, overeating, it's just kind of stuffing things that, you know, are emotions, stuffing food on top of emotions and things that we haven't dealt with, right? We just sit and we eat because it feels good, and we really need to go out and deal with whatever it is we need to deal with, or find our calling and our purpose, something that is bigger and better and, you know, beyond us. And then we don't have time to sit around and stuff our face. We're going to be making business decisions, and we're going to be saving money, and we're going to be helping, you know, people get saved and helping people walk on their calling and their purpose, right? So we don't have time. So I'm talking to myself, not acting like I got all the solutions, but I can tell you that I have, intermittent fasting has worked for me, and walking and things of that nature. So again, Fix My Life is about getting back on track, and that's what I'm striving to do starting this week. Well, I kind of started a little bit last week, but we're just going to say this week. So anyway, and it looks like this thing is trying to drop, so, and I don't want it to. It did anyway. Glad I caught it before it did. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thank you for joining me this morning. allthingsregan.com, excuse me, and also Regan Says on YouTube. So join me there. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to inbox me. Thank you, and have a blessed, peaceful, and prosperous day. allthingsregan.com. Bye.